I would like to introduce myself. My name is Bart Wingblade. I was invited to share some thoughts and my experiences and a little bit of my story, my journey, you would call it. I always wanted to volunteer, and something or someone compelled me to come up this driveway. I was curious about the building. I pass the building every day, and I always say that everyone that discovers this place was meant to discover it at the time that they did. Now, I didn't know anything about hospice. All I know is that I was at a point in my life where I wanted to give back. I wanted to do something. So I approached the building, and the first person to greet me inside the building, which was just newly constructed, was Donna Kodlasak, which was at that time, our director of volunteers. And after a brief visit and some education, I made up my mind that this is the place that I want to volunteer. The years passed. I became a competent and skilled caregiver as a volunteer. I was very well trained. I was very passionate about what we did here. My life was filled with what we call hallmark moments. You don't look for them, you don't expect them, but you recognize them when you see them. And I truly believe that I was making a positive difference in the lives of others. At some point, I felt that I wanted to progress. I wanted to grow more, because at this organization, there's so much opportunity for growth, both personal and professional. And I became a SENA here. We really didn't do anything different. We were still, as caregivers, as volunteers, we're almost what I consider to be equal partners with the staff. I wanted to be a SENA because I wanted to be able to contribute more, maybe just more to the organization. And I did that for many years. And at some point somebody asked me, I remember they said, "Why aren't you a nurse?" And I thought to myself, and I was unprepared for the inquiry, and I said, "Well, I'm not smart enough to be a nurse." But I know that wasn't true. And it planted the seed, so I started to think about it. And I thought, well, if I become a nurse, I'll have this much more, I'm not going to use the word authority or ownership, because we all have ownership here. Everyone here, whether you're housekeeping or dietary or building maintenance or a nurse or a doctor or an aide, you're all considered equal partner. You're all considered an important part of the machine. But I just thought I would be able to give more comfort to the families, more comfort to the patients. So I went through the process of becoming a nurse here. And through every phase of my journey here, I had tremendous support, both professionally and personally. You learn things here that you don't just apply to your healthcare profession. You learn things in your everyday life. Those life qualities that most of us learn from our parents: compassion, courage, humility, empathy, patience. Reinforces your integrity because you become an advocate for patients and families, and you're fearless in doing so. You learn to listen with your eyes, not just your ears. You learn to anticipate the needs of the families. Imagine if you have a few people caring for patients and families that are very passionate and very focused. Now imagine, if you will, an entire workforce that does that same thing. It is just such a joy to come here to work. I fell in love with this place early on because it is so selfless, the organization. I didn't go on to be an aide to be an aide. I went on to be an aide so that I could be an aide here. I didn't go on to be a nurse to be a nurse. I went on to be a nurse so I could be a nurse here. I am very, very proud of this place. I always make this comment, and I don't feel ashamed by saying it. I would gladly, without hesitation, write them a check every week just to be allowed to work here. We're not perfect. We don't have a monopoly on compassion, but there's so many people here that are so kind and so generous and so giving and so committed to what we do here. It truly is a privilege to be here.